All right, starting to get into the night here in the backyard, and I think we should be looking for these UAPs that I believe are UAPs. So UFOs, whatever you want to call them, and there's also the drones. So yeah, I've seen a lot of things right here in my backyard. I'll even show you one of the videos I have is actually right here from my backyard. It was a green flashing light. Now this was before they reported the New Jersey drones. It was way off in the distance, like way off in, if you would look my direction this way, would be east. And it was way up in the air, and it was a flashing light. It was like very interesting. I've never seen anything like it. And then it was going a long ways. It was going miles. It took off pretty quickly, and I know that drones can come down from a high area and swoop down looking like they're going real quick, but this thing looked like it was going really fast, and it took off across the sky down to the south, and it was hauling butt. So, you know, every night I've been out here looking for stuff like that, and then the New Jersey drones hit, and I like to come out in the backyard and really take a look. And you all can come out here in this backyard, in your backyard actually, not my backyard, but go out in your backyard and or nearby, or a park or something, if you have a park or something, and take your equipment, and also look at the other video where I showed you. Basically take that stuff with you, your phone, so you can identify if it's a plane or if it's a star or a planet, and then you'll be able to do some hunting. So I've seen a lot of crazy stuff all around, and even from my own backyard, which I'd like to tell you some stories about. But yeah, we're back here just seeing if we can catch anything. And of course, I'm talking to the camera right now, but I had done a little scoping out the skies just before I got on camera here, and there's not much going on. I can see Venus over my shoulder here in the background. I also see, I think it's Jupiter coming up here, and Mars, some really faint stars. So we're just getting into that blue hour, they call blue hour. It's pretty blue, as you can see over my shoulder. That's going to get darker and darker, and then more planets, more stars are going to appear. So, and then I'm so yellow because I have a kind of a yellow bug light out here. So excuse me for looking so like orangey yellow, but that's what I have for my backyard. It keeps the bugs away. Anyways, so let's keep an eye on the skies and see what we can find tonight. Now I'm using a lens that has a really good, it's called a fast lens. It's a 1.4 setting on the lens, so it allows a lot of light to come through. And then I can set the ISO really high. Now some of these, if I do catch anything tonight, you'll notice some of those videos will be very grainy because of my ISO. I have to jump that ISO up and hope to God that it catches it. So you're going to see grainy. I'll try to keep it as less grainy as I can, but you know, the further away they are, it's harder to catch. So, or the smaller, the faint lights. So yeah, and during the day I actually saw something. I have a video, but there's nothing, you can't see. It was so high up during broad daylight. It looked like 3 bubbles kind of put together, and it was just rotating through the sky like this, changing all types of different colors. Like I could say indigo and red and blues and yellows and greens. It was just like rotating. It was so far up though, and I tried to catch it with my iPhone because I always, you know, have that thing ready to go, but nope, I looked back at the footage, nothing. So here we are again, out here looking again to see if we can catch something. These things are not easy to catch on film, I'm telling you. And they even know how to sometimes divert the camera. I don't know how they do it, and I've heard other people talk about it, but they know how to divert the camera. So, you know, let's see what we can do. Hopefully we'll catch something. Oh, there's a good sign of there's a little spot, Jupiter. I believe that is Jupiter there in our sky. When I was out here on my last video, I think we even looked at that on my Go Sky Watch. It's called Go Sky Watch. So that is Jupiter showing up, and then I've got Venus over here to the right, but that's kind of a long stretch for me right now. And then as I up the ISO to about 5,000, you can see another little star right next to it. So there's Jupiter And a little star right next to it. I'm not sure what that one is. I can move this over a little. There's not much out yet. We can go back over. I wish I could zoom in, but I don't have that capability. I have a fixed lens. And that's about it. That is what it is. So, if we catch something, we can zoom in on it on the computer. There, it looks like it's probably holding the focus a little bit or two with the higher ISO. So there you have it. That's Jupiter again, and maybe something will fly in front of it. You can see. We'll have to take a look and see what happens here. Just keep a watch on it. Like I said, off in that distance there, pretty much right below the star to the right, kind of almost crossed down a little further from this star on the right there, is where I saw the green flashing light. It was hanging out there just below that, probably more towards the bottom of the screen here, but I mean, it was hanging out high up there. I've never seen anything so high up, flashing green light. Again, here's a shot of it. Green light. It's really hard to see. It's like, again, I zoomed into it, my newer camcorder, but it really had a hard time focusing, and when you zoom in, hand holding, it's just, I wasn't ready for it. So, but I got something on camera, as you can see. But yeah, let's keep a night sky watch here and see if anything happens. And then again, the planets move. Well, the planets don't move, but our planet's moving, rotating, and so the planets appear to be moving, or the stars are moving. But some people think it's a UFO or UAP because it's moving. Not always. It's just a planet or a star. So, just like our sun. The Earth cycles, sunsets, sunrises. So yeah, there's been a lot of things I've seen in the back here. A lot of satellites, but things that were unexplainable at times, even during broad daylight. I saw a little figure floating through the clouds back, and it was just really strange. It almost looked animated. It's like a little cigar shape on top and a little box shape on the bottom with two connecting rods, and it was just bebopping through the clouds, and I was lying there watching it. I thought it was very strange to see it go from one cloud to the next, like it was hiding, like it was looking at things, spying on things. And this is not recent. This is like probably 10 to 15 years ago. I've had so many experiences, I don't even know where to start. Can't remember them all and when the actual event happened. But this thing was definitely something interesting. And then I was watching UFOs on TV and noticed that in the 1800s somebody had made a drawing of, and if I can find it, I'll put it up here for you, of the same exact thing that I saw in the sky. It was very strange. So yeah, this thing floated around right above me pretty much, and from little cloud to little cloud, little puffy clouds, and it looked animated, rocking to the left and to the right, kind of rocking back and forth, and it was just no wings, no nothing. It was quiet. It was just very strange. It seemed so out of place. And again, I didn't have my camera that day, but and there's a lot of stories I have just from my backyard. Like I said, I'll have to make a whole new episode on the story. I was out here 3 days and saw those little, what they call our plasmoids now, they're calling them plasmoids. 3 days in the same place, disappearing, kind of floating, kind of disappearing, coming back in the same place, floating to the left, one in the east, one in the south, and one in the north. It was very like a big huge triangle, just floating for 3 days over. And then this kind of show went on shortly after, to the east, southeast mostly, and it was like 3 big spheres, different colors. I remember it's like red, green, and blue, just like RGB. Sphere in the middle, 2 spheres on each side, and then the 2 spheres, one on top, one on bottom, went towards the middle sphere and then intersected the middle sphere and came out through the opposite sides with the opposite colors, if that makes any sense to you. So the bottom color was the top color was the bottom color, but the center color remained the same. And I tried to catch that on camera, and I couldn't catch it on camera. I could see it, and I kept trying and trying. I was able to get a little bit of here and there of the orbs, but it was very hard with the camera I had, and to be honest with you, they messed with the camera, flipped my image upside down, and there was all these little dots that appeared on the screen that were connected. I still have that camera, and I still have that footage. I'll have to bring it out, like, again, I'll have to do a whole episode on that, because that was the strangest 3 days of my life. Anyways, we'll go over that. But I haven't seen anything in the sky tonight, so I'm not sure. We'll have to just keep hanging out here and see what happens. But yeah, I've been watching, we're watching, you're watching. If you see anything, let me know, because I'm kind of watching and telling my story. But that's the stories tonight. And again, I'll make another one on that. Some other things that I've really seen that are very interesting, not from my backyard, but you know, I've seen a lot from my backyard. So this is a hot spot for me. I really don't even need to go anywhere. This is my hot spot, I'm telling you right now. That's where it happens usually. And looking at the sky tonight, I don't see much. I can look all up, all over and around. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, up the ISO to 12,000. We're looking at another part of the sky here. I don't know if it's going to focus, but I can up the ISO even more. But we're going to be at 20,000, 25,000 ISO. You can see other stars up there, but they're not focusing in as good. There's some stars over there. But we're just watching the skies, and this is how I do it with this camera. And like I said, it's going to be a little grainy, but you'll get it. You'll get something if you see something at night. It'll be a little easier if you have these kind of lenses, you know. Rather than using the iPhone, it's a little harder. You know, so anyways, unless it's really close and you got some light, you know, to work with. See how it just drifts away. So there, but go back to our other original shot. You can see some more stars there in the upper right. There's some more stars. And we'll come back down to Jupiter. See if we can get a spot on Jupiter. There we go. And there's Jupiter and a little star next to it. That's a nice shot, but it's trying to focus. It's having a hard time. That's not a pulsing thing. It's not pulsing, so I just need to probably up the ISO a little more. There we go. That's probably a better shot there. So that's what cameras can do. They can play tricks. And now it looks like something's blinking, but it's not. And I'd be the first one to be honest with everyone here that watches my channel. Okay, now we're on manual focus. Let's see. We can stop that thing from bouncing. There you go, guys. So manual focus, forgot to mention that, and I forgot it myself. So anyways, manual focus is the best way to go. That way we know we're in focus there, and we have a reference and get in, and you can see the focus is pretty much right about there. So that's focused. Yeah, the autofocus is going to keep trying to focus. It's going to make things look weird. People are going to misinterpret it for flashing lights, and it's not. So those kind of things are important to make sure that your settings are, not playing tricks on the eyes and stuff like that. So I'm on an ISO 20,000. It's probably going to be pretty grainy, but yeah, I'm trying to go over this because it's kind of, important, because there's a lot of things that make it hard. So I'm just going to do our focus point there. We're going to down the ISO a little more. I kind of want to see, the reference points, just to have a better, reference point. You still can see the tree there, and you can also see the light. So just in case something comes flying across, we'll get it. And yeah, so that's how you do it. It's pretty much, and I should have had it in manual focus to start off with, but I forgot I changed it, and then I saw it bouncing around and realized. But yeah, there's not much going on tonight yet. Yeah, it's just one of those things. There's an airplane coming, I think. Let's see if we can give you an idea what an airplane looks like. Yeah, there's an airplane coming. So let's see if we can get that. Let's give it this is good practice too. Even if you don't catch something, see, there's the airplane. Now wait a minute. We've got an airplane. There's also a white light following it. That is very weird. Do you see that? It's following it. And it's tailing it. It's like, do you see that, guys? Oh God, I just lost it. Now we've caught something, and it's right behind it. Still moving. You see it? Oh, look at that. Now that could be a satellite. Could be a satellite. Let me get things balanced out here. I'm going to focus on this thing moving. And there's our reference point. And let's just see if we can focus in on that. Definitely moving. And there it is, guys. We caught something. So, whatever that is. Now there is satellite programs we can look at to see if that was a satellite or is a satellite. And if it changes directions, does anything kind of like that, changes directions or anything, oops, or does anything weird, probably going to disappear, I'm imagining. Seems like it's following that airplane. And it's really dim in the sky there, but you can still see it. It's flying. It's definitely an orb. There it is. It's just a flying orb of some sort. Now that could be a satellite. Well, that's very interesting. So we had an airplane and then something flying right behind it or above it. And then there's some more stars over there. I wonder if it's going to come out the other side. That's interesting. Sorry for the dogs. We do, I have a, as you know, a corgi. Space dog corgi. But I don't see it coming out the other side. It might have disappeared by now. Alright, so we'll go back. I'll just leave it at that. See if he comes out the other side. Now that was very interesting, guys. Again, I don't know if that was a satellite, but it was something. Probably gonna have to take that in and review it. Maybe zoom in. Like again, that's just a bright light in the sky. Wow. All right. Let's take some time and review this. And here's another airplane I just saw before I went in, flying off. Now that's an airplane. I don't see any drones or, orbs around it. But again, we have a reference point there. Kind of see where it's going. But I don't see anything. And it had a little engine sound like a little airplane. So that is an airplane.